Hi students, so far we discussed the three units. In the first unit we completed the calculation of the transmission line parameters called resistance, inductance, capacitance and conductance. Anyhow, the conductance value is very small, so that we neglected that conductance part. And next, coming to the second unit, with the help of the calculations of the first unit, we used that first unit constants for estimating the performance of short transmission line and medium transmission lines. So performance is analyzed in point of efficiency and regulation. So the same concepts are analyzed with the help of two-port network terminology called as ABCD constants. So with that ABCD constants, we calculated again the efficiencies and regulations for short transmission line and medium transmission lines. And in the third unit, we went for the calculation of long transmission line to find out the ABCD constants and also to find out efficiency and regulations. Okay. So there in the long transmission line, because of distributed elements in the nature, we went for the rigorous solution method. After identifying the ABCD constants of that long transmission line, we went on the evaluation part of those ABCD using complex angle method and real angle methods. So later we given the brief introduction part about the surge impedance, what is meant by surge, and next how to define the velocity of the propagating wave, etc. Okay. And also we have seen the same long transmission line, how to represent them with its equivalent T network and equivalent pi network. Up to here we completed the first three units. And coming to today's class about the fourth unit that deals with the power system transients. So the name itself says that this unit is related to the transient analysis of the power system. Okay, so this fourth unit, we are going to analyze its performance again whenever it is placed in operation. Okay, so the title of the unit is power system transients. Before going for the power system transients, let us see what is meant by a transient. In general, we know that the transmission line is operated with its voltage, current associating with an power, electrical power. So whenever this current and voltage and power are operating in particular transmission line, it will be subjected, those quantities will be subjected to the changes whenever there is a transient state in the system. So exact meaning of the transient is, it is nothing but occurrence. Due to that occurrence, the quantities are going to affect. Okay, so which quantities are going to affect in the transmission line? So whenever the transient occurs due to n number of reasons, let us in the coming classes we will see what are those reasons for the occurrence of this transient. What are the reasons for the occurrence of the transient? So whenever this transient is occurred, immediately you can observe some changes in the electrical quantities, namely current, current, voltage and power. So those magnitudes gets changed from its steady state value. What I mean to say steady state value means whenever it is operating without any disturbances, then I can say that it is a steady state operation. Whenever a disturbance is imposed on the transmission line, like switching operations, opening the transmission line, closing the transmission line, like that. So if any disturbance is occurred in the transmission line physically, then immediately it is going to affect the operational quantities that are existed in the transmission line. So for a short period of time, these magnitudes gets changed, so that a variance in the magnitudes is observed after occurrence of the transient. So that before period is called as steady state period, after the transients whenever they are occurring, that is the changes whenever they are imposing, after that again it will settle into the steady state values. So I can say that what is meant by a transient? A transient is nothing but it is a phenomenon which is observed in the voltage, current and power waveforms in a transmission line in between the two steady state values. So I mean to say this is before occurrence of the transient and this is after occurrence of the transient. In between these two transients, in between these two steady states, the transient occurs so that its magnitudes varies for the voltage, current and power. That is the exact meaning of transient. Then what are the reasons? How do these transients set up? So these transients are set up due to switching actions and faults and lightning. These are the three reasons. These are the three reasons for which the transients can be observed in the transmission line. They are switching operations. As we discussed, the switching operation is nothing but whenever the transmission line is connected to the source side, generating station at the sending end side, then until before you are connecting the transmission line to the generating station, it acts as a steady state with open circuit. Whenever we are closing the switch at the sending end side, then it causes a disturbance for that steady state open circuited condition. Once again, so whenever the circuit is open circuited condition, transmission line is open circuited condition, then that state is called as steady state operation. If at all if you want to operate that transmission line, then what we do in general is we will connect that transmission line to the generating station at the sending end side. Then immediately we will close the switch. Whenever the switch is closed, then we can say that the transmission line is subjected to a disturbance. For whom the disturbance it is? It is the disturbance that is obtained from open circuit and it will lead to the closed circuit. In between this open circuit and closed circuit, some sort of duration. Some sort of duration is there. For that duration, the transmission line is subjected to transients. Okay, that is switching operation. Not only connecting to the generating station, removal from the generating station also. If you want to operate that transmission line connection for a long period, and next whenever you want to disconnect from the generating station, then before disconnecting we can say that state to be as a steady state. What is the steady state for that operation? The steady state for that operation is whenever we want to remove the transmission line from the generating station, then that steady state condition is closed condition. Whenever we open the switch, then it is subjected to open circuited disturbance. So that is called as switching operations. Switching operation means closing the transmission line switches or opening the switches, connecting or disconnecting the transmission line with respect to the generating stations. In the same way, receiving end side also. On the receiving end side, if the load is connected, then we can say that it is subjected to a disturbance called as closed circuit. Steady state means open. Whenever we close the switch on the load side, then we call it as a transient occurred due to a disturbance of connecting the load. So it is operated for a long time. Load is connected and it is operated for a long time. Whenever you want to disconnect the load, then again we are disturbing the circuit. Such a disturbance is nothing but transient. Okay, such a disturbance leads to the occurrence of transient. What is transient? Changing of the magnitudes of voltage or current or power. That phenomena is called as transient. And another reason for occurrence of the transient is faults. So in general, on the transmission line, because it is a very long transmission line distributed over kilometers of the length, faults may occur at any point of time and at any place, which can't be predicted. Okay, so we can't estimate where the fault is occurring. So whenever that is a fault is occurring on the transmission line due to n number of reasons, then obviously the magnitudes of the voltages and currents and powers will be changing its levels, called as occurrence of a transient. Okay, and the third one is external effect, that is called as lightning. So during the weather conditions, whenever there are atmospheric conditions are not good, then during rainy seasons, then we expect some lightning strokes that are appearing. So whenever that lightning strokes occurs, immediately the conductors which are running over the towers will be subjected to the transients. Its magnitudes of the voltage will be raised very fastly with greater rise time and will reach to the peak values. Okay, so switching is one reason, faults is the another reason, and lightning is the another reason, which are the reasons for occurrence of transients. And next, so whenever first we have seen what is meant by transient, changes of the magnitudes of voltage, current and powers from their steady state values is called as transient. And next, how do these transients set up? The transients are set up due to switching, faults and lightning. And next, let us see, if at all if the transient is occurred, then we came to know that there is a change in the voltage, current and power. Then how we characterized that changed magnitude of either voltage or current or power, whatever the quantity may be. How we characterized it? It is characterized with a term called as surge. So surge in general is a waveform related to any of the electrical quantity called as voltage surge, current surge, power surge. So surge is nothing but, it is nothing but a changed magnitude waveform. Changed magnitude waveform from their steady state values. So such a surge is nothing but, it is in general defined as, the surge is defined as a movement of charge on the transmission line. So then let us see, what is that surge? This surge is characterized by a sudden steep rise in the voltage called as surge front, and it is observed by a gradual decay from its peak value to its normal value called as surge tail. So the waveform of the surge is divided into two parts, namely here if you observe it. So this is called as steep rise in the magnitude of the quantity. If you check it, the x-axis is the time in microseconds and y-axis is the magnitude of the electrical quantity. Maybe the voltage waveform or current waveform or power waveform. So within no time means very less amount of duration. If you check it here, this is very less amount of duration. Within this less amount of duration, you can observe a sudden rise of the voltage to its peak value called as crest. Okay, so it takes very small amount of time to reach it to the crest value or peak value. Such a very steep rise in the voltage, we technically call it as surge front. As I told you, surge is nothing but a waveform. We can call that surge front as wave front also. So in the figure I have shown you here, it is wave front. It is also called as surge front. Both are same. And next, after reaching to this crest value or peak value, then again its magnitude gradually will decay towards its normal value. So it will take some long time. Okay, so such a portion of the waveform is called as wave tail. If you check it out here, this is wave tail, is also called as surge tail. So how to identify the surge waveform from a normal waveform? So the surge waveform from the normal waveform is identified, that is characterized with two parts, namely the wave front and wave tail. Wave front is called as surge front and wave tail is called as surge tail. This is how we will characterize it, that is we will identify the occurrence of the surge. Very steep rise and gradual slow decay process is called as a surge wave. Next, the next part is, let us see how these surges are occurred, and next what is the effect of this surge. So the surges are occurred due to lightning, are at most important because they are with greater magnitudes and will be in the different shapes. So as I told you, there are n number of reasons for occurrence of the transient. Whenever it is subjected to transient because of any one of the reason, then immediately the line will be subjected to the surge. Okay, So out of this three, what we have mentioned called as switching effects, faults and lightning. These two are the reasons for the occurrence of the surge waveforms. Okay, so out of these three, lightning, the surges which are occurred due to this lightning strokes will be at most important, because those surges will have higher magnitudes than compared to the remaining two. Okay, so because of those higher magnitudes and will be having different shapes, those two, because of these two reasons, higher magnitudes and different shapes, they are very at most important in analyzing our performances. Okay, so switching operations will also create surges, but the compared to the magnitudes, they are very smaller, so that we won't bother about that surge waveforms which are occurred due to switching operations and faulty conditions. Okay, so anyhow, if we leave those surges like that without any precautions, without taking any precautions, then those surges which we define it as movement of the charge, those surges will move along the transmission line and will reach to the terminal apparatus that is at the end of the transmission line. So in general, the end of the transmission line you can observe. So if you check it, transmission lines in the real time case, so outer sides of the cities, you can see overhead transmission lines, right? Whenever we reach nearer to the city stations, no, then immediately we will connect that OH line to underground system for looking appearance to be very nice inside the cities. If we go for OH transmission line, overhead transmission line in the cities also, then because of appearing those conductors at very height, the ambience look, the at inside the cities, it won't look that much good beauty. That is why for ambience purpose in general, we prefer underground cable system in the cities. So if you check there, means there is a junction formed at the entering of the city and leaving from the city. So at the entering and leaving from the city outskirts, we call it as city outskirts. At those city outskirts, so there will be a connection to the transmission line and overhead transmission line and underground cable system. So what I mean to say is, the transmission line is terminated with either cables called as cable boxes, otherwise we will connect a transformer for the purpose of decreasing the voltage, because as we know, the OH line will be operated with very high voltages. Those high voltages are not utilized to the utility point, we have to reduce them, we have to decrease those levels. So to decrease those levels, we use in general the transformers. So this transmission line may be terminated either with underground cables called as cable junction boxes, or the transformers, or any other switchgear protection. Okay, so because this transmission line is connected to any of these what we have listed out called as cable boxes, transformers and switchgears, these surges will travel if you neglect them and will reach to that apparatus, and they may be damaging those transformers or switchgear elements or cable boxes. Okay, so this is the effect, or this is the problem with the surges. Okay, next, the study of these traveling waves plays a major role in the designing of insulators, protective equipment, the insulation of the terminal equipment and overall insulation coordination. So here we are discussing, if at all if we leave this surge, then that surge is going to damage switchgear equipment or otherwise transformers or otherwise cables, cable junction boxes. Okay, this is the effect of that surge. And still what more, do these traveling waves will be affected. So this, with the help of this analyzing the traveling waves about its peak values and how far it will take to settle into the normal state, because of this complete study, we can have a thorough knowledge in designing the insulators, means completely insulation purpose. The study of these traveling waves will be helpful for us to design the insulations. So where do we use in general insulations? The insulations are used to isolate the conductor wire to the tower structure with the help of the insulators. Called as this study information will be helpful in designing our insulators. And next, protective element. What is protective equipment? In general the protective equipment are circuit breakers, okay, relays, right, etc. So relays, circuit breakers, all these are fuses, all these are called as protective equipment. And also some equipment are terminated with some insulation, like if you see in the real time the transformers, if you check it out, no, those transformers, if you check it out, like this, if it is a transformer, these will be the bushings which is made up of with porcelain, and the inputs are given to here. So this is a insulating material which isolates this conducting and tank of the transformer. So this is the insulating or isolating equipment which isolates the conductor and transformer tank. So this we call it as insulation of the terminal equipment. Okay. So which will be helpful. This study of the traveling waves will be helpful for us in analyzing, in designing the insulation of the terminal box, terminal equipments. And also it will be really helpful for overall insulation coordination, because the insulation coordination in general will be analyzed. Overall insulation coordination in general will be analyzed with classes based upon its temperature, right? So here what we have discussed is out of the three reasons for the occurrence of the transients, which one plays a major role? So the surges which are occurred due to the lightning strokes will be affected more because of having higher magnitudes and different shapes. And next, if we leave those surges like that on the transmission line, they are going to affect the terminal equipments. The terminal equipments in general are cable junction boxes, transformers and protective element, switchgear protective elements. And next, what is the necessity of studying these traveling waves? So the study of these traveling waves will be helpful for us in designing the insulation as well as in designing the insulation of the terminal equipments and overall insulation coordination of all the equipments. And next, we are going to discuss what are the various causes of the transients, system transients. So in general, there are n number of reasons to exceed the voltages in a normal voltage level. So what I mean to say is, voltages on the transmission line in several occasions exceeds much more than the normal voltage. So because if this increase in voltage is not prevented, then it may be damaging the plant. Anyhow, we know all of this. The reasons may be n number of reasons to exceed the voltage beyond the normal voltage. Okay, if it is exceeding beyond the normal voltage and we leave like that, those high voltages will be subjected to damage the plant. Okay, so then we have to take necessary action to observe what are the magnitudes of those voltages and currents. So the voltages and currents in this line imposed depends upon the following factors. On what factors do this voltage and currents will depend? So it depends upon the following factors, like it depends upon the circuit components, because all circuit components will have standard values of their ohmics called as resistance, inductance and impedance, forming an inductive impedance or capacitive impedance. So that circuit components will decide the magnitudes of voltages and currents, whether they are normal values or increased values than the normal values. Exceeded values or normal values will be decided based upon the circuit components. And next, the magnitudes of this voltage and currents also depends upon the switching action. So after switching the line, there should be a sufficient gap so that disturbances in the line will settle themselves. So here what we want to explain is, whenever the transmission line is connected to the sending end side or removed, then in order to do any operation like connecting the circuit or disconnecting the circuit, after that it will take some duration of the time called as gap to bring out those values to normal steady state. For example, if we go for open circuited condition, open circuited condition. This condition is called as a steady state condition. Under this steady state condition, the current is 0 and the voltage will be available with some operating voltage. If at all, if I want to switch on the line, means if I want to turn on this line, then I have to connect it to the generating station. Whenever it is connected, then I can say that it was on state. During that on state, now the transmission line has to change its operation from steady state to get into the next steady state. This steady state is corresponding to the open circuited case. Now we have to get the same next steady state corresponding to turn on condition. Okay. So in between these two steady states, we know that there will be a transient period. In the transient period, a sufficient gap is there to bring out those values from one steady state to next steady state. Means open circuited zero current has to increase to its maximum rated current called capital I. Instantly it can't change its magnitude from 0 to capital I. It will take certain time. Similarly, the voltage of higher magnitudes will be fallen down and will become 0 under turn on condition. So suddenly or just like that instantly, the voltage may not be fallen down and brings to 0. It will take certain time. So that gap what we are calling is occurrence of the disturbance due to this switching operations, which are required for our analysis part also. The next is reasons for the occurrence of transients. In general, there are two reasons for occurrence of the transients. They are internal causes and external causes. The internal causes, if you check it, they are due to resonance of the circuit. So in the resonance of the circuit, you know that the energy storing elements are there called as inductor and capacitor. In the inductor and capacitor, the energy stores so that those two will be participated in the resonance. In that resonance part, the magnitudes of voltages and currents will goes on changing its magnitude. So changes of magnitude, technically we defined it as a transient. So that is one of the reason for occurrence of the transient. What we call it as internal cause. And the next is insulation failure. In general, the insulations are provided for the cable and also at the transformer bushings, where the overhead transmission line is to be connected inside to the transformer winding, which will be done with the help of the bushings. If those insulations are failed, then obviously they will lead to the short circuited conditions. Under the short circuited conditions, we know that voltage is 0 and current will increase its magnitude abundantly. So that sudden changes of the magnitudes are nothing but again transients. And next, arcing. The third reason is arcing. The meaning of this arcing is whenever the lines are subjected to either turn on or turn off, means connecting or disconnecting, then obviously we have to, if we are connecting, then the poles has to be come into the contact. Whenever it is contacted, then there will be a spark, appearance of the spark in between the poles. Okay. Similarly, whenever the charged line is to be disconnected from the generating stations, then again we have to open those poles. So whenever we are opening those poles, the air around that poles will be ionized and the electrons will try to jump from one pole to the other pole whenever we are pulling out those poles, which will be appeared as a spark. So those sparking occurrence, technically we will call it as arcing. The similar thing can be identified in the operation of the circuit breakers also. Okay. And next, the switching operations. The switching operations is in general, many of the loads will be connected and disconnected as per their requirement of the utility. So at that time also there may be a chances of changing the voltage and current levels. So technically the change of those levels of the voltages are defined as transients. And the only reason or the cause for the external is lightning strokes. Whenever the atmospheric conditions is not in good condition, that is under rainy seasons, we may expect the lightning strokes which will affect the transmission line in terms of its magnitudes and waveform shapes. And next, So far we have seen what are the causes for occurrence of the transients, internal causes and external causes. Internal causes are 4 in number. They are resonance and next arcing, switching operations, and the internal causes are these 4 and external causes are only lightning. Out of all these, lightning, the surges which are occur due to lightning will have more predominant effect. Okay, and next the types of transients. In general, the transients are classified based upon their existence. They are single energy transients. The meaning of this single energy transients and double energy transients comes under internal cause. What is internal cause? It may be due to a resonance. So as we told that the resonance operation occurs if and only if there are energy storing elements like inductor and capacitor. So if only one element is there, either inductor or capacitor, then the storage of those energies in those elements of inductor and capacitors will be subjected to change in the magnitudes of currents and voltages. So examples for that single energy transients occurrence is either RL circuit or RC circuit. In an RL circuit only, in general, for an exclusively RL circuits, only inductor will be present which stores the energy and will be subjected to change in the magnitudes of the voltages and currents. So such a circuit's example RL circuit comes under single energy transients, and also RC in the same fashion. Whereas the second category is double energy transients. The name itself says that the double energy means the transients, that is magnitudes of voltages and currents will change due to the existence of both energy storing elements like inductor and capacitor. Example is RLC circuit. And further, these transients are classified as initiation transients and subsidence transients. The initiation transients are nothing but whenever the dead circuit, up to that time the circuit is in turned off state, disconnected state. If at all if we want to connect that circuit to the generating stations or we want to energize it, then we are changing its position from one steady state to the other steady state, which will result to the occurrence of transient. Next, subsidence transients. Subsidence transients means this is the transients occurred whenever the energized circuit is suddenly removed or switched off. So opposite to the previous one. And the next type of transients is transition transients and complex transients. Transition transients, name itself says that whenever the circuit components are going to change its magnitude from one level to another level, like load variations, sudden variations or gradual variations. If there is a change in the load, then the magnitudes of voltages and currents will be changed, which are subjected to transients. And next one is the complex transients. The complex transient is nothing but it is not due to a single reason, multiple number of reasons, and those reasons are nothing but disturbances. Single disturbance, it is not like that. So if that is subjected to multiple and independent disturbances, then such a waveforms and variations of the voltages and currents will be called as complex transients. This is about the introductory part of our fourth unit, and in the next class we are going to see how exactly the waveform is going to propagate from the sending end side to the receiving end side against the energy storing elements called as inductor and capacitor for a lossless line. As I am telling that it is a lossless line, the resistive elements must be 0. In general, the resistor will be present in the impedance part as a series element, that is assumed to be 0. Only inductance will occur, and in the shunt branch, the conductance is assumed to be 0, G as 0. Then obviously the element left over will be the capacitor, so that the transmission line is formulated mathematically with inductor and capacitors as alone. So such a transmission line is called as lossless transmission line. In the next class we are going to see how these energy storing elements are going to affect the magnitudes of voltages and currents in detail.